Hello, I am Ron Safford. Thank you for joining us for Northeastern Technical College Career Conversation. Today, our guest is Krysten Hyduke, who is an HR manager here at Northeastern. What is our topic for today?
Interviewing.
I'm leading right now. I don't do interviewing. Let's say that we have found our job, we've applied, and we've got our first interview. What's some good interview tips?
I would say practice interviewing. You don't want to be too rehearsed. I would definitely, research the job, research the company, because sometimes companies ask what you know about their company or why you want to work for them or what attracted you to this position. So I would definitely do that, research the company. I would print out the job posting or save it somehow because you want to go back and reference that and then be able to talk about how your experience relates to that position in the job interview. Especially if you're applying for several jobs, you don't want to apply for several and then get that phone call to interview or an online scheduling link and say, oh, what job did I apply for?
Right.
Which one is this? And so you want to make sure that you save that information as well.
Okay, so we've got our first interview. Let's tackle the elephant in the room. What should you not wear to an interview?
I would say jean shorts for one, or shorts in general.
No, I can't wear jorts.
No.
Why? I love my jorts.
Unacceptable, Ron.
Oh.
No, I would definitely say business professional. And so what that means is basically a suit and make sure you're presentable. And so really you could buy one interview outfit and wear it to all interviews. So let's say that you're a college student and you don't have a lot of funds or extra funds at the time, then just buy one job or one professional suit. And I'll say this, I wore the same suit for my internship, my human resources internship, as I did for my professional job in the human resources fields.
And speaking about interviewing, what is some practices that we should not do for virtual interviews?
So I would recommend being fully dressed. So and what I mean by that is wearing a business suit. So don't wear pajama pants or shorts and then a business suit, because when you're dressed professionally, it makes you have a level of confidence. And so you're going to feel more confident in the interview.
How vital is it to practice with the software before your interview?
Very vital. And I will even, because I do a lot of our interviews here, I will even offer, if someone needs help, to log on a few minutes ahead of time, because we really want to know who you are and learn about your training and your experience, and we don't want the technology to be an issue and make you nervous or not get the full sense of who you are. So I would definitely practice before and reduce the anxiety and nerves that comes along with that.
What is one piece of advice you'd give our students before an interview?
Be prepared. And so practice your talking points. This may be practicing your elevator speech. This may be doing mock interviews with family or friends or other classmates. So definitely be prepared.
And following up with the interview, is it really a faux pas to ask how much am I going to get paid during the interview?
I think that's a good question. A lot of times it will be on the posting, so I would pay attention to that there. But it's a fair question in an interview.
If the interviewer asks you what questions you have for us, what should you ask or what should you not ask in that situation?
Yeah, so I would definitely prepare like 2 or 3 questions that you want to ask. And then as the interview goes on and you find out more about the company and they tell you a little bit more about the position, you're going to have interview questions that you want to ask. So I would also recommend, if you have those 2 or 3 questions prepared before, have that notebook and a pen so you can write down anything that you may want to ask based off what they tell you about the job.
And during an interview, if you get really flustered, is it okay to stop and say, can I start over?
Yes, stop and take a deep breath and continue.
During an interview, should you approach the interviewees as businesslike, or can you be more informal and friendly?
I would say be yourself. And so that's going to make you less nervous. You're not going to seem rehearsed. Just be yourself. Let your personality come out.
Okay. All right, Krysten, I've got the $1 million question about interviewing for you. Your interview's over. It's been a great interview. Do you send thank you notes?
It depends. So it's certainly a nice gesture. If you would like to do that, you can email it, you can mail it, however you would like to do it. It's not a requirement, but it is a nice gesture.
Then you had this great interview and you've not heard from the company in like a couple of days to a week. Is it okay to reach out to them and find out what's going on?
Yes, absolutely. And so a lot of times the company will tell you in the interview how long it may be before you hear from them, but you can certainly follow up with them. And also, you may want to follow up and ask, if you didn't get the position, why was there something in the interview that you need to improve on so it can help you in your job search later on? Sometimes it may be that you don't fully answer the questions that you're being asked. And so that's something that you can practice and improve on for your next job interview.
With interviewing, let's say that I'm doing an interview and it feels like it's the worst interview ever. In your experience, have you ever had like a really bad interview and thought, I'm not getting this job, and then you get it?
Yes. Yes.
So a lot of times our perception of the interview is not the interviewee's perception.
Exactly. So I would definitely say, give it your best shot. And sometimes you do feel like, oh, well, that didn't go well. And you're always going to overthink it afterwards. But you never know. It's happened to me before. So.
Kristen, you're in an interview and the employer looks at you and says, why did you leave your last job? What's appropriate to say?
I would say honesty is the best policy, because a lot of times we check references, but we also may contact your last employer. So I would certainly be honest and also use my professionalism and judgment on how I approach that question.
All right. Do you have any other tips for our students?
No, I would just start with being prepared. So prepare your resume, be marketable, practice interviewing, and have a LinkedIn presence, network, whether it be with classmates, friends, or family.
We're so glad you joined us for Northeastern Technical College Career Conversation. Please be sure to follow us online and check for our next career conversation. See you then.